World of Warcraft players at Gamescom.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
Who knows, really?
Well,
We're just here for the free invite.
yeah, exactly.
Barburas, let's start with you.
Sure.
Maybe the best warrior in Europe for a long period of time. When did you really start to put a lot of effort into World of Warcraft PvP?
Well, I always enjoyed PvP and TBC. It's just obviously wasn't very aware of the pro scene for quite a while. Even though, like, I mean, I still played, like, I was competitive in my battle group, but obviously there was a whole different level of PvP going on, which I hadn't really looked into until. Essentially, I hadn't looked into it until during TBC, which case I would have liked to, even though I did play for rank 1 on the hard servers like Cyclone and stuff. But basically, at the start of RAF, I wasn't really sure about if I wanted to play WoW at all at the time, so I didn't queue for the first like arena to pass thing they did then. But everyone since I've tried to qualify, and I've qualified for the last 3.
Are you jealous on Ocelot, who's plays League of Legends and is having a big crowd?
I'm not jealous for him. I'm very happy for him. He's probably a better player than I am, and he's done well for himself. So I'm not jealous now, but I'm very happy for him.
All right.
Sure, I'd love to have it, but I don't think jealous sounds more spiteful to me.
And Glyptic, arguably the best shaman in Europe for a long period too. You started as a warrior, right?
Yeah, I did.
And did pretty good for you.
Yeah, I was playing on Cyclone and stuff, but I always had like a shaman alt, and I had just ended up playing shaman because I enjoyed like the healer role, and yeah, I went regionals last year, and then BlizzCon. Unfortunately, we lost at BlizzCon. I say we got unlucky, but I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, it looks like a large part of WoW, to be honest. It's not. It's not. Well,
it wasn't
I mean,
the same system as like now with the maps.
But yeah, I mean,
it was completely random.
But
you could get Drink of Valor 4 times in a row,
which obviously is pretty bad. But even
Yeah.
still, like, I mean, I think being honest, we don't really consider WoW proper esport. It's not really fair balanced. Like, I mean, obviously skill plays a part, but there's so many other things which play a large part, which I don't think. At least for me, if like esports I enjoy, I like the player who plays the best to win almost all the time, obviously. So, I mean, that's how I feel about it. But
yeah, I think WoW has been a dying esport for a while, to be honest.
The current state of World of Warcraft, we see less players play the game, but it's still active, and it seems like the TRS had a lot of teams still, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it hasn't been completely dead.
I mean, I think for a lot, like myself and Glyptic, we don't even play on live. We hadn't played on live for about 3 months or so prior to the TR coming on, and we activated to play there because, to be honest, it's about for a PvP. It's supposed to come to a dedicated PvP server now, so it's pretty fun getting to play the best of the best. But to be honest, even still, like, it's quite frustrating because there's so many other factors to go into the game, go into WoW than like skill or whatever. Because to give an example, last TR, which I qualified for, basically a week before the end of the qualifiers, my class, for PvE reasons, got completely butchered, and then I had no chance. Whereas had that not happened, I might have like had a good chance to go all the way. So there's a lot of frustrating things like that go into playing WoW, and I don't think anyone would. At least I don't think anyone would want to make a career out of it. It's not like a game like StarCraft or something where you can do something serious, or Dota or League of Legends or whatever like that. I mean, I think it's considered kind of a niche sort of interest of some World of Warcraft players. It's still very niche compared to what they mainly focus on. So, I mean, it makes sense from a business perspective. Like, if only 5% or whatever it is, it's pretty low, of the players who play WoW are interested in that side of thing, then I understand why they don't really balance that hard. They don't go that hard and balancing for it. But I mean, I think for most PvPers, one thing that would help a lot was if they make changes which affect our abilities to check differently in PvP and PvE.
Yeah.
Therefore, they can balance
both.
Yeah, exactly. Because you can have a game, you can have like a more balanced WoW game, and then like for PvP perspective, and then they do a nerf completely based on a PvE thing. But then it's a PvP. I mean, I think like Resto Shaman, like an example, in characters on Resto Shamans were like pretty much the strongest class, but they weren't doing well in PvE, so they gave them another ability to make them even stronger in PvP, even though they're the strongest already.
Alright.
Yeah.
at this point, what do you think of World of Warcraft PvP? Like, is it as it's always been, or is it worse, or like which era did you like the most?
I think. Well, do you want to go first?
No, you go first.
I think it's worse. I think it is worse. I mean, there's definitely, like I say, among the older school PvP community, there's a lot of loss of interest in it. I mean, let's say me and Shaman don't even play on live at all.
Yeah.
And I think most. I mean, obviously people have different ideas, but I think most people feel towards the end of Wrath of the Lich King, when they'd kind of scaled back a little bit on how damaging some of the classes were. Like if they'd done a few tweaks, I think most people agree that was probably the best time it's been. But even then, there's obviously been many things they could have done to improve it, and there's obviously many flaws to it then. So
I don't really enjoy playing live, to be honest.
No.
I love TR because you can play against like all the best players, and and you're playing against the best. But on live, you're like playing against a lot of people. Not sometimes like the best, obviously, but most of the time you're not. So that's why I like TR.
Alright.
And live has always had a history of having more problems with PvE gear, which they usually ban some of it on the TR.
Yeah. You said End of Wrath is considered maybe the best game PvP wise, but which was your like favorite period, and which players did you play with at that time?
For me, the favourite period, as I said, was the End of Wrath, when they turned back a bit from the start of Wrath, when they'd gone way too far and making things too damagey, too quick and stuff like that. But for me, like probably at least my most fun time at the End of Wrath was playing with the comp Warrior Warlock Paladin. I played it with Paladin Fraki, who as far as I'm aware doesn't play anymore, and played with a Warlock called Fabio, who won BlizzCon that year. LSD.
Which Warlock to say?
Fabio.
Oh right, yeah.
He won the BlizzCon that year playing LSD2, and he qualified for BlizzCon last year playing with Glyptic, but I think probably even Glyptic would admit, like back last year, even though they had a strong comp, like the game itself isn't probably as fun for a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And for you, which was like your favorite era or team that you played with?
It's probably like what season was like Furious Gladiator?
6.
6, like season 6, or maybe like TPC, because I enjoyed TPC a lot for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, I think TPC had a lot of good things as well.
I remember like a lot of good times from TPC where you had like, you were in a guild and like everybody were playing together, and like you were PvPing with everyone. Like I enjoyed that a lot. So
I think the PvP community was more
like,
sort of active and
like
there's more sort of interaction between each other then.
More tight.
Yeah, exactly.
So you lost your first game. You thought it was kind of expected. Who's the strongest team here at Gamescom?
Well, I think most likely the two strongest teams are the team we lost to at the start, which is another Zoniaki and Rep Paladin. So they're playing one of the current strongest comps, DK, Rep, Priest, and it was really close actually. The games could have, even though it was a 1-3 scoreline, and obviously being the people who lost it, it's easy to see, oh well, he's saying that, but it was very close games. Like there were quite a few times when another survived on very small amounts of HP, so that probably them, and also the team that actually I think they're playing at the moment, Flubber, Kuna and Skens is RLS, which is also, don't want to go there too much, but it's also another one of the strong comps right now. So those two teams are probably the two strongest here at regionals.
Right.
For us personally, the RMP, if we face it, would be very difficult because it's just a pretty good.
But they're out.
But well, no, I don't think they're out yet.
They are.
Have they lost to NTG?
Yes.
Okay.
So you're happy?
Yes. No RMPs.
I mean,
Is it still that they killed the warrior the most?
Well, they can go to any target. They can like swap all the time versus KFC.
It's like it's always been done.
Yeah, they start on me, one-shot me with like Shutter, and then they swap to Warrior or whatever. It's like, I think it's pretty hard for KFC. But they're out of the tournament.
okay, well that's good for us. I mean, I think really the big decider for us is do we win who we face next? If I'm correct on the brackets, we face the loser of another's team and Flubber's team. So I'd consider them the two hardest teams there for us to face probably. And so if whoever it is, if we beat them, then I feel we've probably got a good chance to possibly even go top 2 or even
Top 2 is going to the finals.
Global finals in China, yeah.
Alright, cool. Are you looking forward to any other game, or will you stick to World of Warcraft, or like Are you done with esports?
I'm not done with esports. Well, I mean, it depends. Like, I like watching a lot of esports, so particularly StarCraft 2 is probably my favourite right now. But I also just play random games like RPGs and stuff, just waste my time on that. So I know Glyptic plays a bit of Dota.
You like Dota?
Yeah, I really like Dota actually.
Think you can go pro with it?
I don't know, maybe. Like if I play enough. If I play enough. I'm like James though, I like watching StarCraft. I'm like a huge fanboy for like Nesty and
I want a picture of
MVP and all these guys.
That's my one goal this event. I want to try see if I can get a picture of MVP.
All right. Maybe we can after he's won the tournament or something like that.
We'll see. We'll see.
All right.
I want to get a free LGIM shirt, but they all got sold out before we got here, unfortunately.
Any final words or shout-outs?
Not really. Just any particular fans. Thanks for watching, and I guess hopefully we do well in this tournament. See.
What he said.
What he said. Yeah. Good luck.